Welcome back. In today's video, we're just going to look at how to implement. We are going to implement Redux into our e-commerce. Okay. So many people had asked me to use Redux in this project, and I made a separate video for Redux. If you have not watched it, it is good before you dive into this one. You first watch a step-by-step video I made about Redux before you jump into this one. Okay, so in this video I'm just going to, first of all, before I go to Redux, I'm just going to show you what we did in our previous episode. So in the previous episode, in the previous two episodes actually, we were implementing the delete and edit functionality, and of which we managed to put in most of our modules. If you just look at this, we have the delete and the edit functionalities working. Okay, so I think we work together about with categories, and then I think with also store banners. So I showed you how to manage that. We did this and this. I went ahead and managed to do for coupons. If you just check here on coupons, I have this Happy Friday updated under the coupons. When you click on edit, okay, if you click on edit, it takes you to the page whereby you can actually edit this coupon. Let's wait and see. Okay, so you can see it is here, this coupon here, and I can just go and say updated maybe twice. Okay, updated twice, and you can go ahead and change the date, and I think I will show you this is the most important thing. I'm just going to show you how this date you will get back to come here. And I think most of you got this problem whereby the date coming back was a problem, but I would show you. So I'm updating this, and you can say coupon updated successfully, and I have the updated coupon here. So to show you what I did with the coupons, if I just quickly go back to this. So if you just go under the dashboard and you go to catalog and you go to coupons, you have the folder structure the way it has been always. We have the new update, and then we have the columns and the page. So inside the new, of course, you have to rearrange this to be in this format. Okay, you make sure that you rearrange this into this format where you have the header and you have the form, the coupon form, and in the update you do the same thing, only that here you pass in the data. You see we are getting the coupon here, a single coupon using the params. Then we have the update coupon, then I pass in the update data. This is what we did in the previous video I walked you with you. So only that in this, one thing that I need to do was actually getting the expiry date. If you think about it, the expiry date is in another format. The data you get is not into this. So you have to first convert the ISO date back to normal. So I created this function, convert ISO date to normal. If you check, let's check it. So basically it gets the ISO date and it creates a date object out of it, and then you get a year, month, and a day just by getting this object that get full year. This is very easy. Then you get a month by first getting month plus 1, since months are 0 based. Remember that when you get this get month here, it gets it in 0 based, and then you have to add 1. Then you have to convert it into a string, and then you do pad style to make it 2 place values. The same thing here with the day. So after that, then I create a string in this format. The string must be in this format. This is the normal day of JavaScript. This is how the JavaScript date looks like. This year, month, and day. So this is how I managed to do that. Here, after getting it, I add it to the, after getting this expire date normal, you can see I actually add it back to the updated data because I want to change this. Okay, so updated data dot expire date, this the one we have just converted now is equal to the expire date normal, and then I come and then destructure this data here, I spread it here, and then to automatically propagate to the form. Otherwise, it is the same thing we did. You can see we have the coupon code and everything. If there is an ID, of which the ID I'm getting on top here, okay, then I just go ahead and make a put request, send the data, send the endpoint, send the data and everything, okay. And then this post request, of course we had done this one earlier. Okay, so another one I did was, of course we did the categories together and the banners. So another one which was hard, I think, was also products. So yes, go and see the changes I made in the products, okay. And in these products here, now if you just go and see, you can see new product updated. I'm just going to go here and I click on edit, okay. Just go here and click on edit, and this one should go to the edit page, and you can see here you have this new product updated, the title. I'm just going to change this in a second, but pretty everything you can see here, it is good, okay. And I can just like update this to update it twice, okay. And then you can just go ahead and maybe add some stuff, like you can just change this one to be supported, and the wholesale price, let's say 250 million. Here you can just say the minimum wholesale quantity is 100. Then let's go ahead, add some tag, okay. Just say here feature 1, feature 2, feature 2, just like that, add. And then at the end of this you can just say this is pretty nice to update, okay. Okay, so you can just go ahead and then click on update. Let's see. So product updated, we go here and you can see here everything is cool. So I'm also going to show you I'm just going to show you how I also managed to do this, okay. I also managed to do that, and you can see even the tags, they are there on the edit, okay. So when you go to the products, okay, if you just go to the products, I think on the products we did a lot. So on the products here we have the same thing, we have the new. So you have to first go and work onto this, okay. One thing I had to work on is to bring out the header. I remember this form header was inside the new product, okay. So you have to rearrange it and make sure that in your product, the first thing you have to remember always is that here it should only be a form. Whatever you just do here, it should only be a form. What you return here should be only a form, as you can see that. So going back to this, the new. So this, in the new you have the same thing, the form header and this. So previously you are passing in categories, so you have to pass in this data you are passing in, the categories and the farmers as we had gotten them. Just do the same thing, pass in the categories and the farmers, and then the same thing when you go to update, we pass in exactly the same thing. The only thing that we change here, first of all, we get the product. So we have on top of these ones, we are getting the categories and the farmers. So you have here the farmers and also the categories. We go ahead and get a single product. So you have on top of those ones, you get a product. So when you are sending the data, you send the updated data, which is the product, and then you send the other previous ones, the categories and the farmers. So if we go back to this new product form, you see on top here I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm getting these three things, updated data. Of course I'm setting this to empty because on the new on the new product we don't have the updated data, so it becomes the default. So the first thing you have to get is this, the initial image URL. You get it from this updated data.image URL, or if it is not there, then you set it to be empty, and then this one becomes the initial for this image URL. Then the same thing, you do it for the initial tags. You get the updated data.tags. If they are not there, you set them empty, and then you use this one as initial tags. Okay, I think that's the most hard tricky thing to do was here, getting this the initial image, and we are not done for initial image. The things was just initial tags. You have to get them and then pre-populate them here, because for them they will not propagate inside here. Then you have to come here and get that data and spread it, and where we are spreading it is to maintain these other ones which were there. So just simply spread it. Okay, and that's it. And then the only thing you have to do is to make sure that you have this here, the same thing where there is ID. So I added the ID here, and then make the put request. The same thing remains really the way we did. Okay, so one thing I want to show you quickly is also jumping into the Prisma. Some things changed. I don't remember very well what changed, but in this, while we have the relationships, there was a problem with relationships. More especially, you might have gotten it. For this one is the coupon banner, you will not have any of the problems. The problems come when you have like this category here. So whenever you are having these, I think the first one was on to, let me see. The first one was on to like this product, where we have this update. So where we have the category ID, because what happens if you are updating, I think we worked also on that when we are in the category. Yeah, I think we did that when we're doing category. I think that was, I think I did a video about that when we talked about this. You have to go ahead and make sure you have this on delete cascade and on update cascade, and we talked about that, I remember, I think. Okay, but that's the change you have to make. Most like here, you have to make sure if a category is deleted, then the products that with it, they might have to actually go. Okay, then we went ahead, and another thing was I think, now just going to talk about farmers in a second, but another one I just made, I think, was this community. Okay, about this the community, the blogs, I think you can see I have this updated, this one. Now if I just go and I show you, I think let's get another one like this one, maximizing yield. Okay, just go here and say edit. Okay, and I think this one was also, was it tricky? I don't remember, but I just want to show you, just in case you make sure you have the same thing I have. So you have this maximizing the art, and I feel like this should take its whole thing alone, but so you just go and make some updates. I'm just going to go at the end of this and I add updated, just like that. You can even change the category. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to go ahead and add some content here. So this was wonderful. Okay, and I think it is really cool. Okay, and then maybe we can just go ahead and like we add in some more stuff, like I don't know, like what, like image. Okay, like you could just go ahead and add some really content. Okay, I don't know, we'll just go and like add like really content here. Then after that, update training. Let's go and see this training updated, and you can see down here, here you can see we updated this. Okay, and you could also just confirm if everything is there. We've just added, you can see, and even the image is still there. So for this, let's just go quickly to that. Okay, just making sure you are up to everything. So we have the community here, so we have the same thing, the new and updated. Okay, so the first thing I think with this one was also, I think, something that you have to have, of course. Let's start with the new. So in the new, of course, we are passing in the categories. Okay, so you have to continue passing the categories. Make sure you have the header and the form, and then you pass in the categories. If we're passing in only the categories in here. The same thing in the updated, you just come here and add only one thing, the training. Okay, so you have to get this training. Make sure that you have this right. So you have the training from the trainings and ID. Okay, and then you have the categories. Then you are passing both of them into here. Okay, so you have the categories and the updated data, and then now you have to get this, the initial content and then the initial image URL. You just get them from updated data, just like this on top here, and I give them the initials of empty, and then this is what I use here, initial this. And then for the content, let me see, and let me just see, did I add this? Where am I using this initial content? Let me just see, am I passing it? Yeah, so you can see I have here the query editor. When you scroll down, I have this query editor. So in the initial state, I pass in the initial content. Okay, so I just go ahead and remember, this is under this the community. You can see this link here, dashboard community, where we are linking, but this is not training. So there is, I think, why you need to update this. Let me show you one thing. I think it was this one where I was trying to actually update my columns. Let me see, community. So under the columns, you might just need to make sure you update your columns here, the title and where you are sending everything. You can see everything is under the community, and then the endpoint. So you look at this, the endpoint is trainings, on the training ID, but on the endpoint, edit endpoint. So this is the delete endpoint. It is remaining on the trainings, because if you go to the API, in the API we have this under trainings. Okay, we have this under trainings. Now for the edit endpoint, you can see it is on the community, where we are sending this community update. Okay, update, then training.id. I first had to get the training as usual, then pass this. So I think you have to edit this. If you don't have them like this, edit it out and then make it like this, so that you have you have it streamlined. Okay, so I think that's it there. Now for the farmers, for sure, actually I thought about it. The farmers, we don't need to add the edit functionality, though I was trying to add it, but I realized that with the farmers is going to be somehow complicated, and who is editing right now and what kind of stuff. For the farmers, we're just going to leave this. You can just only leave the this edit, but the edit, I did not work on it, to edit the farmer. Okay, the only thing we're just going to put is going to be for users, all the users. Okay, because when you're just trying to implement this, you realize that you don't have to edit the farmer profile, because when you click edit, I think I was pointing to the farmer profile page. Okay, you see it takes you to this, that's why I left it. It was actually updating the farmer's profile. Okay, so I think that one no need to be like this. Okay, the edit functionality for the farmer, it has to be like the farmer himself. You get, it has to be a farmer himself. So you're just going to see it in the, we'll see it under the we'll see that under the authorization. After you have put the authentication authorization, when a farmer is logged in, we check the role. If it's a farmer, then we are going to give them to update, and we might just put this one under profile somewhere. Like you'll be seeing it as profile, then he's able to update his profile himself. But right now, it is not really necessary. Okay, so the farmers, just leave it like that. We suggest to handle this under the authorization. We shall make this page. The only thing we're just going to add though will be, I think, under the customers or users. I'm just thinking about this one. We might just end up making this one like users, and then like we can edit them. You edit the role, you edit the what, but the farmers, we're just going to leave it like this. So I think I've brought you up to speed, up to where I am right now. Okay, I think this is what we have right now, and we have pretty a big functionality right now working. Okay, Metro Select, the most big of our models that are working onto the UI, they are already working. We can edit any of these ones. Anything you edit, actually you can see it, like for instance portrait updated. You see these ones onto the UI, so that is really nice. Okay, so moving on forward, what we want to do, actually, like the gist of this video, is add to cart, and we make sure that we have them everything now connected. And I think that is a big functionality to add in today's video, and I don't know how long it will take us to add it, but just going to try see adding it. Okay, so the first thing, if you have not watched the Redux video, please go ahead and watch it. Right now I'll be moving somehow more faster than how I did in the video. Okay, so the only thing you just need to do is to install these dependencies. I'll first install Redux, okay, into our project, and it is just npm install Redux, React Redux, and Redux Toolkit. I'm just going to open that and first install that. So just open here, and let's go ahead and install these ones. Npm install that. So you have to add those three packages: Redux, React Redux, and Redux Toolkit. Okay, and then meanwhile we suggest like I have to create the Redux folder. Okay, that is the second thing we have to create. Let me just go ahead, close all these pages, close all, just like that, and then like minimize this, minimize this, minimize that, and this, and that, and that. So you have this, so you can just go ahead and say app. So outside the app here, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new folder. Okay, so while this is installing, we have to create the Redux within the root folder. So just create a new folder, and just going to call it Redux, just like that. Okay, and of course the two things you have to create inside this Redux, there are two things. You have to create a file for store, so you have to create store.js, and then inside this also create a new folder for slices like this. And then the last thing, I think we'll have the providers, where we have the context here, providers. So we might just actually just going to add this in these providers. We already have a lot of providers we are wrapping in here. We might just also add the provider for this. We shall just add it in this one. Okay, so moving on, I'm just going to go here in the store. So the first thing, of course, you have to create the store. Okay, so you have to create the store. Okay, so the store, you can just say const, and you just have to export this. I think export const. Okay, export const store is equal to, I think it is comes from configure. I think it is configure store. Okay, and in this you go ahead and pass in an object of reducers. Okay, so you pass in, I think, is it a reducer or reducers? I think it's a reducer. You pass in a reducer as an object, and inside this reducer is where you go ahead and specify your slices. So our slices, they will go here, and we want to create only one slice. So go to slices and let's create a cut slice. So you say cut slice.js. Okay, so in the slice, of course, you create the slice. There are a lot of steps we did the other day, but I think to create, you have to create a slice. You have to create a slice. Okay, a slice. Then you have to create, so create a slice, and then of course create reducers. Okay, and then you can just say go ahead and also create, you have to export, I guess you have to export the reducer and reducers. So the slice itself produces a reducer. When you create a slice, at the end of the day it creates a reducer, and that's how you bring it into the store. Because actually the store, you can see, to bring this as a reducer, you give it a name and the stuff. Okay, so how do you create a slice? I think there is create slice. If you just go after the store, you can see we have the store. After that, you have to create a slice, and the slice, you need initial state, and this is how the slice is created. Down here, okay, you have to create a slice. So you can just say const, let's just say const cut slice is equal to create slice from Redux Toolkit. So you create a slice, and then you pass in an object, and in this object you start with the name. Then the name, just going to give it cut. Then we have to create the initial state, so you can just say here const initial state of the cut. So this one, initial state is going to be equal to an empty array. Okay, so if you wanted to do like yesterday, you can pass in some things here. Okay, you can pass in some data here, but we can start when it is an empty array, and then you just go ahead and here you also pass it in here initial state. So you make sure that this name you have here is also the same here, or if you just named here anything else, you just come and you say initial state and you give it a name. Then finally you have to pass in here the reducers. Okay, so the reducers, they also is an object, if I'm not mistaken. If you just see here on the reducers, you see it is this big object that is having different reducers, and basically for the cut functionality we need only 4 reducers. Okay, we need for add to cart, remove from cart, increment and decrement quantity. Those are the ones really we need. Okay, and I will be moving somehow so fast depending on how I did in the other video, since this is actually almost the same thing that we did. So just going to go ahead and pass in our 4 reducers, and we said a reducer is just merely a function. As you can see, this is a function, and the reducer takes in the state and the action. The action is carrying our payload, and the payload is simply the data that needs to modify the state. So the state is actually this initial state. You're having like access to this initial state we defined up here. Okay, whatever you just define in here will be propagate to initial state, and then it will be the first thing for the state. Okay, so just go and start like with add to cart. Okay, after you have created all these ones, you have to go ahead and export them. So you have to say export const. You have to go ahead and export the reducer and the reducers. Okay, so these ones you have done, they are the reducers. So down here you have to go ahead and export add to cart, remove from cart, increment and decrement from cart slice dot action. Okay, so just get them from actions. So this is the one thing you have to do, and then you have to export default the cart slice dot reducer. This is the one that is going to go inside the store. So after doing this, okay, after doing this, you can literally just do export cart slice here. You have as a reducer, and then come inside here, and you can just name the reducer here. So I'm just going to say here name. I think basically the name how do I put this? Was it name? Let me just go ahead and see in the store. Okay, so just go and just give it a name, any name you want. So just going to give it cut, and then the value you give it here is the cut slice. So import it just like that, cut slice. Okay, so after doing this, we just need to create the provider. So in the providers, they said inside anywhere, okay, just make sure it is surrounding these the children. So you can just cut the children, and inside here I'm just going to say provider. Okay, and this one just make sure you're getting it from Redux, just like that, and inside here is pass the children, just like that. So you have the provider and takes in the store. So you just come here and you say store, and then you say store. So import the store wherever it is. Okay, so you can just say I'm getting it from at Redux store. Okay, I'm getting it from the Redux store, wherever it is. So when we do this, we have made the store to be accessible to all components. Since this one, you can see this one is sim provider. I think these providers, we already have it in our layout. So you just go to check. When you go to the layout, you can see we have already the providers. Okay, so that is great. So next, now since we have this, we can start using the store. Okay, and I can start with the cart page. So in our project, we already have front end cart page. Okay, and basically it has the things we did yesterday, because the other component I got it from here. So basically I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, so I can just simply come here onto just going to come here onto the here I can get the cart items. So const, okay, cart items is going to be is equal use selector. So just go use selector from Redux, and then here you have access to the store. Okay, so here we have access to the store, and then from the store we can actually say that store dot, we can return store dot cart, I guess, just like that. I'm not sure. Let's just say go ahead and console.log cart items. Okay, so right now it should give us an empty array. Let's make this one a use client. Okay, just make it a use client. Since we are using a hook, this use selector hook. Okay, let's just go and see on the cart page. So I'm just going to come from this and just go to cart, just like that, and let's go and see if everything is still working the way it should be on the cart page. Okay, so let me just go on the cart page, press F12, and I don't think I have anything on the console. Like, okay, so like there's something I saw, like an empty array somewhere. I don't know what all these ones come from. HTML4. Where is this page with this whole HTML things? Okay, so I can see here I have an empty array, and if I want to confirm, you can just go ahead and add some things in the cart slice. So you can just go here and we confirm by adding some object. So just add an object of maybe ID 1, and let's just say title. Okay, I just say product 1, just like that. So if I do that, this is going to refresh. It should refresh. And why is this not I don't know why this is not responsive. Let me just refresh. Okay, I just looking where to get these errors, and I just get rid of them. But you can see here I have this thing here with ID 1, product 1, so it is working for sure. Now this is why we have this. Where is this coming from? I just don't like my console to have these errors. This is why we have this fill rule, blah blah. Okay, and I don't know, here we don't have a form app index. I wish I just could know where this was coming from, and you just work on it. There is clip rule. Let me just go ahead and search for that. Maybe I don't know if this one will just work. Fill rule. No. Fill rule. Okay, so here you have to change all these to something like this. Camel case, clip rule, just like that. Anything else? Is that all? Which page is even this? The footer? Okay. Let me just go back to what we are doing. Close this. So here we have confirmed we have the cart items. Let's proceed to other important things. Okay, in the cart page, so on the cart page we can get these items. So right now what we have to work on is actually adding the items in here. So but before that, what we just want to do is just going to work to make sure that these ones we make a product. So just cut this. Okay, and let's create a component under components. Okay, so under components we have the front end components. So just come here and you say new file, cart product, just like that, dot jsx rfc. Okay, and let's return this for html. Okay, just like that. And this one will be just like taking in a cart item. So just say here cart item, and on the cart item, the thing you just want is to replace this with the image, which I just like be seeing the information that is going to come in a second. So simply go back to the page, and where we have these products here, I'm just going to right now at least put cart product, just like that. And then we're just going to map through the items when they come. Let's first work on the add functionality. Okay, and just go here under this coupon. I just want to make this responsive at some point. Okay, I don't know, but I think by the time we just finish here, we have to make it responsive. Okay, let's just first import things this side. Start with the image, bring in the image from next image. Bring in all these minus, bring in the plus, and finally trash. Down here there is this trash. Okay, we have all the icons. The problem should be gone now. Okay, so what I just want is to go back and just work on these on our slice, more especially this add to cart. I'm just going to explain it. If you have not watched that video, please go ahead and watch it. I'm just going to get this, and then I explain about it, then we can just like move on. So let's just go and talk about the add to cart. So go back to the cart slice, and then they just go and to add to cart. So on the add to cart, okay, on the add to cart, we have the state and this the state and the action. So what do we need in the cart really? If you just check the cart page, we need the image, we need the title. Okay, and maybe we would get the category, but if you look at our products, let me just go ahead and duplicate this. Maybe look at our API. So just go ahead and say API products. Okay, if you just look at the product, the only thing that is very easy to access at this point really is this, but then there is why you have category ID. So then I just go ahead and then we go into deeper fetching. So basically we just go ahead and have the image, this, and then the price information. So meaning that in this cart product where we are having this category, this golden thing here, I'm just going to remove it. Okay, so that we have this simple information. So let's just go ahead and talk about the slice. This, so this add to cart is a reducer that is going to be called upon when you click on add to cart. The only thing that you have access to the state. The state is actually the cart items, these ones we have here. Right now we just want it to be empty. Remove this. Okay, we have access to the state, which is right now empty. And then you have also on the action, which action actually comes with the payload. If you just hover here, you see action hover is the payload and the type. So now on this payload, on the action, the most important thing we just need is actually the payload. So the payload is the one which is actually containing the actual product. So on this product, after getting this product, and the product will come as an object. As you can see, this object is crazy. We have a very huge project. When you add, this is what comes. Like, this is really huge. We don't need all this information. We just only need a few things like title, image, and others. So basically, I'm just going to go here. I need title, image. Okay, and do I need even a description? Let me just look on the cart page. No. So just need image URL, or just like taking it as image. I'm just going to say image URL. Now that I'm seeing it, you have to be having your object shape should look like this: title, image URL, and I think that's the only thing we just need. And the price, now we have the product price and the sale price. Okay, and then there's also wholesale price, but at this point I think let me see, we shall just have the sale price. I think the sale price and we have the sale price and the product price. Sale price, product price. I think the sale price was to get us the discount. I don't know if we are supposed to check if the wholesale is true. I think we might just need to check if this wholesale is true, and then we check what that person bought with. We might just need to deal with that later. Right now, let's go with this, the sale price. Okay, we have the sale price and the product price, so just go with the sale price. So here just might just need to actually change this to sale price. Okay, so ID, title, sale price, image URL. Basically the data that we need onto this page is what you get. Yeah, you correct. You see, we need the image, we need this, we need the price. Only those, I think there are three things with the ID. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just need only these three things plus the ID, and you get them from the payload. Then first of all, want to know if this item already exists in the cart. So we use this ID. We check the existing item by getting state.find item that matches this ID. So after finding it, if this item already exists, we simply change the quantity and we add 1. Okay, we just add 1. We simply update the quantity. Else, if the item doesn't exist, we add it to the cart, and that is to say, we simply create something like this: ID, title, just check this to sale price, and then this to image URL. Okay, just like that. And then the quantity, we make it 1, as simple as that, and that's it. That's the all functionality you need for add to cart reducer. And now to call this reducer, we go to the products. So if we just go onto this page, front end page is where we have all the products. If you just go under the products, they are under category list. So inside the category list, you have this category will produce in the category carousel, and in the category carousel you will have eventually a product. Now I'm just going to extract this into a product. Okay, I have to extract this. You can see right now it's attached here. I just like to extract it into a product. So what you're just going to do is extracting everything here. Copy this, Control C, Control C. So copy everything there, and let's go to the front end and create a new file, and you just say it just product.jsx and rfc, and let's return this information. Just return this. Okay, and this one already have the product, so just come here and you access this on a product. Remove the key. We have to import the link. Import the link from next link. Import the image from next image. Is there any icons? Also get this icon. Okay, so you have everything is on the product. Okay, and yeah, I think we're using the sale price here. Okay, so now we have the product. I can just go ahead and bring this product here in this category carousel, where we have this here. So I'm just going to say product. Okay, it is on the dot product, I guess, and then pass in this product. So you can just say product as product, and then give it a key. So just going to give it a key, which is going to be I, as simple as that. So this should remain exactly the same thing if we just go on the UI. Let me just refresh. This one should remain exactly the same thing. There shouldn't be any change. The only thing you just want to change is the speed of these items. It is really terrible speed. And you have to work on the loader so that it has a nice loading spinner. So let me just see. Okay, I think everything is still okay. And I just want to know the speed. Where does this speed come from? We have auto press speed. Can I just change this to 5 seconds? I don't know if this is the one. We have a lot of speeds here. There is this. I just want to make it 5,000, 5 seconds. Then we have transition duration. I don't know. This one just make it 1 second though. I don't know. I think that one should just work. But otherwise, I just go to the product. So close this car product. I just go to the product and start working onto this. So want to get to create a function that is going to run when we click here. So first of all, let's say create a function here, a normal function. So function add handle. So yes, say handle add to cart. Okay, add to cart. Just like that. So this function, when it runs, we just want it to run a reducer, or to call upon to dispatch a reducer. So just say on click. So on click, we're just going to say handle add to cart, just like that. Now when we run this function, what we simply want is to call the add to cart reducer. So here just simply trigger or call, in fact we just normally call it dispatching. So triggering a reducer is called dispatch. So we can dispatch dispatch the reducer, and the reducer, we have just created the add to cart reducer in the cart slice here. This here add to cart, and since we exported, so you can see we have it exported here. That's why we're able to use it anywhere. So going back to the product here, I'm just going to dispatch. So before you dispatch, you have to get this const dispatch. Const dispatch is equal to use dispatch. So there is this this hook from React Redux, use dispatch, and since we are using hooks, this one has to definitely become a client component. So use dispatch, and down here let's call the this. So you say dispatch, and then you pass in the name of the reducer, which is add to cart. You see you have to import it at reducer slices cart slice, and then call it. It is a function, and most times when you call it, you have to give it some data. So if you just go back to the slice, you see that it is expecting us to pass in a payload, this action. So the action is which is actually having this data. So we pass in this object, which is this action. The state is already having the state already, but then we have to pass in this action. So on the product, we can just simply pass in this product. We are getting it here, then we could just simply pass it here, product, just like that. Okay, So we can now dispatch this and it will, I think, should work right now at this point. As simple as that. Let's just go and see. I think the speed has settled right now. We don't have that crazy speed. Okay, that's great. So I'm just going to come here and try to refresh. Okay, and of course you have to use alerts if the item is added in the cart. So here, just say toast. Since we have a toaster already, can you say toast? Okay, and yes, say dot success. Okay, and we just simply say item. Okay, added successfully. If you want it, you even can get the title, product.title, you just put here and you say this added successfully. But this one is simple enough. Item added successfully. Okay, so just go ahead, refresh one more time. Okay, okay, and since we want to see the cart items changing, we have this, the header here. So we have to update the items in the header. So let's go and do that. That one should be easy. So we just look for the navbar. I don't know if it is this one, the one that is having the 20 on it. Is it the one? You know, we have a lot of navbars. Let me see. We have a lot of navbars, so you have to be really careful. We have the search. What is this icon? After help, login, there is these ones, there is search form. Why am I not seeing it? There is the help model and all that stuff. Is this the one? Yeah, I think it should be the one. So we have the logo, then we have the search, which is okay. We have the login, which is that. Then we have the help model. Okay, then it should be this one. Okay, it is taking us to cart, which is nice. Did I say like type button? Like this one, does it really need to have the type of button? It is just a link. Cart, and then so you just have to get the cart items. This is, we have to make this one a client component. Okay. Oh, on, do we, what is there anything limiting us to get this one as a server component? I think we could just leave it a server component. Okay, we could just like copy this, we call it a cart count. Actually, just do that. So I'm just going to create here in the front end, just create a new file, call it cart count icon, so JSX, just like that. They just go back here, RFC. Okay, let me first go back here and copy this whole thing, so it is a link. Okay, so cart count, I think we will be having a cart link or something like that, but just go with this RFC, just return this. Okay, that's the good thing with Redux. Any component has access to the data, so you don't have to worry about that. So this one, I'm just going to get this from next link, get all these icons. Now shopping cart icon was gotten from where? Okay, I think it's also from Redux Rusage. Okay, so you have just updated this 20. So you're just going to do is, first of all, go back to this navbar and update this. Okay, just add this as the cart count. Okay, and let's go back to the cart count, and we just have to get the cart items. So const cart items is equal to, so use the use selector hook. This is how you get the data. Use selector hook from React Redux, and then you can pass in here. You will have access to this store, and on this store, okay, you have to access store.cart. Okay, and we said this name here, this cart is the one you mentioned in the on the store. So when you just go back to this store, here it is the name you mentioned here, this cart, because just the information of the cart slice. So it is this one we are trying to access. Okay, so moving on to this, have a lot of things open. Let me try to close them, close all these ones. Okay, so in the cart count, so we have these items. We can just go ahead and remember this one, you have to make it a client component. So I'm just going to go here and say use client. Okay, and you just get the length here, cart items dot length. Okay, cart items dot length. So just come here on this 20 here, and just simply say cart items dot length. Okay, just like this. Okay, that one is done. Let's go back. You should just have no problems. Okay, so this is before we put the client component. So right now it should just work. Okay. Okay, so you can see right now it's saying 0, which is great. Okay, so just go and try to add an item. So I'm just going to add ginger. So add this item, added successfully. I can add zinc, 2 items. Scroll, let's add this a dove. So you have 3 items. Let's check on top here. So you have 3 items. Click onto this. Okay, we have nothing right now, but if we just go in the console, we should have 3 items. You see, so we have right now 3 items. Okay, so we just need to map through them. So let me just go and map through them here. So go to the cart page. So just go to the cart here, and this cart page, you have to really style it out. Like, it has a lot of data. I think we have to clean it out just in a minute. So let me just go here and I say cart items dot map. So just say cart items, and just going to do here, if cart items really exist, I'm just going to say cart items dot length. Okay, if it is greater than 0, if this is true, then we're just going to go and do a map. We shall do cart items dot map, where we have access to the item. Okay, something like this. Return, I'm just going to return this, and then we have to have this arith. I don't know it is where exactly. Cart items, this and this. I think it is supposed to be here. and then have this like a p tag saying no items. Okay, so here we're just going to pass in the item. So what did we pass in here? This one we are passing in the cart item. So just say cart item is equal to item, and we can just also key to I, as simple as that, or you just say the item.id, as simple as that. So we have that, and here I'm just going to look for the image to put here in a second, but right now it should just look like this. If you do that, we should have like 3 items right now, like this. Let's go and populate in the data. So you have this cart item right now. So if you check the actual data, this is the image URL. So it will have to be this cart item dot image URL, and this all text we can just simply use cart item dot title, cart item dot title, and then the same thing here to put here the cart item dot title here, and then I think that's it. There is only a price, I think price here, and just add cart item dot sale price, and you can just change this to UGX. Okay, so let's just go and see if this changes the data here. Okay, just a second. We have the 3 items. Okay, so you can see they have changed. We have the ginger, zinc, and the doves. Okay, now let's go ahead and do these totals. Now I feel like this card should just be the subtotal card subtotal card. This one should be in another component, and should also be responsive. I don't know why it is not responsive right now. Let's just go back a second in the cart. Okay, I think this is the cart page. Why is it not? Let's see how this one is. Your cart. So we have a grid, basically of 2 things. Okay, we have this first grid calls 12, call span. So we simply want, for instance, in SM, I think suppose like to be SM, and then this one has call span full, call span, like this call span full, I guess. The same thing with this other one. This one is taking call span SM block. I don't know, but something like this, it should like solve this problem. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so right now it is good for now. Let's move with that. So right now we are good. Let's first get the subtotals. Okay, and I want this card to be in its own container, like to clean up somehow this one. Okay, I could do that, I guess. The cart is really messed up. Okay, I could just get the one for the cart items and then this cart subtotal. So just go here in this front end, and let me just say get a new, start with which one. Let me just get this cart. Just going to see Ctrl C, go to the front end and say cart items dot JSX RFC. Okay, and then return this. Let's see if we have any icons and images and so forth. So this one simply takes in the cart items. So just simply here come and pass in the cart items, as simple as that. And then let's see if you have icons, is bring in the cart product, and then input, this is the coupon button. Okay, this is okay, I guess, at this point. Then just go back to the page. So here I'm just going to say cart items. Okay, cart items, and then you have pass in this. And I think at this point we don't need to pass in this whole logic. Yeah, I think we can pass it from here, since we also want access to this, to pass it here. If we wanted, we could just like have access it in all the places, but I think we can just like do a simple one. We simply pass it from here, cart items. So cart items is equal to cart items, as simple as that. Now let's just go ahead and clean up also this cart subtotal. So just go back to components. Okay, here, and just so you go say cart subtotal, subtotal card dot jsx rfc, and let's return this. Let's see if we have things to import. Okay, so we just only need the link. So first get this link from next link. Okay, the only thing we just need access to is actually the subtotal. So we might just either just also pass in here this cart items, or we could just like pass in the subtotal itself. Really there is nothing much we need from this side. You could pass in the subtotal after calculating it on top there. You can just like pass it in, just like leave it here and pass in the subtotal, just like this. And you could just come here and you say subtotal here, and this is like maybe UGX for now. I don't know if it's dollars. Will it be dollars or UGX? I'm not sure. Okay, so subtotal, just like that. Go back. Let's go back to where now? Page. So the page, remove all this, and let's go ahead and put card subtotal card, and text in on a subtotal. So I'm just going to get the subtotal here. So const subtotal is equal to cart items dot reduce, and just going to use reduce to find the total. So dot reduce, and then inside here we have access to the accumulative or the accumulated and the current item. And this should just return. Okay, this should return the accumulated plus current. So here the price is going to be current item dot sales price. I think it is right now is sales price, sale price, something like this, times, because it is the total is always price times quantity. So here we say current item dot qty. Yep, just something like this. And at first this one is going to be 0. So we start with a 0, the accumulative of 0. Okay, this is, if you have no idea of this reduce, it takes in, we have been using it so much, you must be familiar with it. You have these two, this is the accumulated amount or the accumulated number, and then this is the current item. Then from the current item you can get this whatever you're going to be adding. So by default it will be 0. So accumulative, or this accumulative amount will be 0 at first, then plus this, then when whatever you get here becomes the cumulative, then you continue the calculation just like that. So whatever we get, want to do to fixed, want to run to fixed of 2 decimal, I think 2 decimal places. Okay, so with that we should have something right now. We still have our cart items. It seems like we have some errors we need to work on. No cart items. Okay, so subtotal right now you can see says no cart items. I think in the next video we shall just add it to, when we add these items we just go ahead and save them in the local storage, then we get them back. We shall just look at that, but right now I just want to add the Redux only. So right now by default it should be 0. We're just going to say subtotal to fixed. Now we could just say this, like by default we give it 0 if there is no any subtotal, we fix it to 0, as simple as that. And what else do I want to work on? I just simply want to add what? Did it work? Let's just first see. So just put like 0 here. Subtotal UGX. Okay, just first confirm by adding some items. So just go back to home. Does even this work? I just first go to this breadcrumb. Just when I want to fix for this home. I don't know how. I'm just going to make this one dynamic, but right now just first put for home, and maybe even the cat, like I don't know why it is 3. Then cat. So I see how to make it dynamic in the future, but right now I just want to make this one only work. Let's just go and test one more time. Okay, let me just go to home, maybe manually. Okay, we just want to add some products in here, and we still have a to make this navigation like responsive. Okay, let's just go down here, add some others like these broilers, watermelon, and a mango. Okay, so 3 items in the cart. Okay, we have cannot read properties of an undefined. Okay, I'll just first go and try to fix that. What do we get onto this? Okay, before we just do that, let's just go ahead and console this. Let's remove this and let's go ahead and console subtotal. Okay, let's go ahead and console subtotal. let's go back, add some items. So I'm just going to add 2 items only. I think in the next video you should work on responsive. Okay, let me just go here and 2 items in the cart. Subtotal is saying undefined. Okay, there's something I'm messing up. Cart items dot reduce return, supposed to be return. Okay, let's check and see. Okay, so right now it is doing it. 10:51 is it? Yeah, I think it is 900 blah blah. I think it is okay. And then so you can just add now these 2 fixed, like 2 decimal places. Okay, so yep, so you can see now it has 2 decimal places, or you could just even pass 1 or whatever. So here you just pass in the subcard total. Let's just see, we need to pass in on a subtotal, so just subtotal as subtotal, just like that. And if you just check down here, we must have a subtotal now here. Okay, so now that we are on this stage, we can just go ahead and work on this, the minus, plus, and delete. Let's start with the delete. So if you just go back here, remove from cart is very easy. You just simply have to filter out. Let me just go back here, go to this cart slice. So we are on the slices, cart slice. So we have finished this. Now we go to remove from cart. Remove from cart also takes in the state and action. The only thing we need the data we need to remove from cart. We're just like deleting the item, we only need its ID. Okay, we only need its ID. So now that's why in the payload we only need the cart ID, and we simply return state.filter. We filter out an item with this ID. Okay, we can just go ahead and add these remaining ones. Okay, this increment and the decrement. Okay, so increment and decrement. So just add these 2. Let's start with the increment. So incrementing the quantity. Okay, let's first work on this remove from cart. I will explain this one in a second. So with this, we only need the ID, and then we just use filter out. It's as simple as this. Let's go and call this. So we go to the cart page or the cart product here. So let me start by saying here handle. So just create a function, handle item, cart item delete. You see cart item delete, as simple as that. Okay, and as we said, this one needs to take in the cart ID. Okay, so this we have to call this function on clicking on this delete icon. So just come on this, on click, we need to call this function handle cart item delete, and so you pass in cart item dot ID. So here just pass in this ID. So you're passing it in here, so it enters here, and then here we can invoke. So just go ahead and invoke or dispatch. So here you see dispatch the delete. Okay, the delete cart or remove from cart. Here you're just going to say remove from cart reducer. So you have to invoke this reducer here. So you can just go ahead, create a dispatch first. So go and say const dispatch. You have to create a dispatch is equal to use dispatch, just like that, and then we can just go ahead and dispatch it here. Dispatch remove from cart, so you just go ahead and remove from. So import this reducer from the slices, okay, and then let's pass in the cart ID, okay, this cart ID here, and that's it. So first of all, make this one use client, as simple as that. Okay, remove from cart. I think everything right now should be working. Let's go back and to this. Let's add some items in the cart. Let's add some items in the cart. I don't know why this is taking, as if we have an error. Refresh one more time. Okay, so just add like 2 items. Okay, and then just go ahead and check it out in the cart. Okay, so now we have these 2 items. The subtotals are being calculated. Let's remove one item. Okay, so we remove it, and you can see the subtotal updates to 789. So that's good. When I remove this, it brings no items. We're just going to get this empty cart, and we put it here in a second, and then they just go ahead and apply here. Not apply there. I just want, what do I want? We just want to add now these other 2. So that one is working. What I just want is go back to the cart slice, and let's talk about this increment. So when someone clicks on this increment, let me just add some items in the cart. Just go back to this. Okay, let me just add this now, like more 2 items. Okay, so right now, if you just go here, want to work on this increment and this decrement. Okay, want to work on to these 2 stuff here. So in the increment, if someone clicks, the first thing you want to get is the ID of this item. Okay, want the ID of this item so that we know where to apply the increment. So we get the ID, then we go ahead, we look through in the state, or we look into the cart items, find the item with this ID, and then we get its quantity. We either increase it or reduce it. So here on the increment quantity, we just get the cart ID from the payload, and then after getting this cart ID, we get the cart item, and we say state.find item whose ID is this cart ID. After finding it, we can just go ahead and increment this. Now in the future, I think we could also get stock. If we wanted, we could also get the stock like onto this, because we have this whole cart item. We could also check maybe the stock, something like that. I don't know. And on the original product, we have quantity. That's really interesting. I didn't know. We already have, actually had quantity there. There was no need of even creating it, but we could just like have a way of ranging on the stock, the initial stock or the available stock. I think we should just look at that maybe in the future. Right now, let's just look at cart ID. We get the period and we increase the quantity by 1. Okay, that's great. And then the same thing with decrement, we get this, we get the item. Now the only thing on this one, we check for if the cut item quantity is greater than 1. You don't want to decrease beyond 0. Okay, we only want to decrease items whose quantity is greater than 1, only those ones. Okay, so just go and implement this in this cut product. So just in the cut product, just simply duplicate these two times, just like that. Is going to be handle, okay, qty quantity increment, okay, handle quantity increment, and then it's going to be handle quantity decrement, just like that. They all take in the cut ID. So the only thing is, what do we dispatch on the increment? We dispatch the increment. So this one, just say, let's just look at this slice. It is increment qty increment quantity. Here, just say and say increment. Make sure you import it, and then this one is going to be decrement. Make sure you import them, and then you pass in this cut ID. So I'm just going to go down here. Let me just remove this. So let's just go to the minus. Okay, we want to dispatch the decrement, so just come here and say on click. We're just going to say run the handle quantity decrement, and let's pass in cut item dot id. The same thing here on the plus, we just simply say on click, and they just go ahead and say handle handle quantity increment, and we also pass in the cut item dot id, as simple as that. And that should be it, and it should be now working. The only thing here we have to, where there is this one, we actually need to put cut item dot qty. Okay, that's great. So let's go ahead and see. Let's increment. So you see this one becomes 2. The initial price, of course the initial price does not need to change. What change is supposed to be actually totals here. So right now you see it is having this 1,700. Yep. So just say increase this. You can see these changes. Increase this, it is changing. So the minus they are all working, plus the delete. Okay, so the only thing you just want to now put is this no items. We can just go in here, you can just go on free pick. Let me try to say empty cart. Empty cart. Just say search for empty cart, and you see if you can just get any nice image to put. Any of these ones can really work. I don't know, like, there are so many places. Let's just also try PNG wing. I don't know if this one can have anything that we can use. could just simply use really an icon. Okay, could just use an icon, and we don't really like complicate it or what. Anyways, just want to just show you, we could just like create a component for this empty cart. So just go to cart page. Where is the cart page? I think is under cart items here, where I don't have no item. So just create here a component called empty cart. Empty cart dot jsx RFC. Okay, and I'm just going to come here. So here you can just like put an image, really whatsoever you want. I think in the next video I will work and I will just go and look for a nice image, design it. But for now, to show you, we could just like say let's just put like what, let me put something like two things, like two links. Just put our p tag says no items, no item. You say yeah, your cart is empty, your cart is empty, start shopping. So like this start shopping, we could just make it a link. Okay, just go here and just say link from next link, start shopping, and just put here href. Just put here slash, just like this. Yep, so you just put like that. We just like here, we just increase like text to x here, and let's give this one a class name, maybe text lime 500 in the dark mode. And just say here text slate 800. Let's just see what this looks like. To avoid complicating it, let me just put this empty cart. But I will just, yeah, in the next video I'll just look for the nice design to put there. So here, let me just put empty cart, put this as simple as that. And if you don't have any items, let's see what is going to put here. Okay, your cart is empty, start shopping. Okay, and we could also hide these product quantity thing. They just hide them. They should only also show if this is true. So just simply copy this div here. I think this whole entire div. Let me see your cart. We could just like actually put this whole thing here, and let's check. We could just like say check and see if it's cart items dot length is greater than 0. Then when this is true, then we could just like put I'm just going to simply put this inside here, something like that. So you just have to hide everything. Now we see on a your cart is empty, start shopping, and I think this two text there is too big for, okay, this should be only on like MD. Okay, so that's great. We have that also just like really working, and of course you could just like go ahead and just put everything in the center. Okay, so we are just done, and I think that is really great. We have done a great work. We have managed to implement, oh, even on the large screen we are having this format right now. Are you kidding me right now? So you could just go ahead and also calculate this in this instead of leaving it like that. Let's go ahead in this cut subtotal. So you know we have the subtotal, and then we have this tax. I don't know if the tax is supposed to be passed like how, but we have the shipping and what kind of stuff. But let's just come here and we calculate this full total. Okay, so you could just say const total price is equal to const, just going to have subtotal plus just have here shipping, so const shipping is equal to $10 right now plus shipping, then plus tax. Yes, also here const tax is equal to 0, and then you just say plus tax. Okay, just like that. So you can just go here and replace all these ones with the actual figures here. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be UGX right now. Then we have shipping, which is just going to put shipping. Okay, UGX. And the tax, which is actually tax. Okay, so that's it. Now we have them, everything is dynamic. Okay, so just go ahead and check. I'm wondering why is that cat looking like that on the large screen. Okay, I'm wondering why. And also shipping, if there is not any item, I think why was that here 10 UGX total price? Let's try and see. Just get some, just 2 items in the cart, and let's go here in the cart. We have these 2 items and the subtotals here. I don't know, let me just also do this to fixed. Subtotal supposed to have to fixed, like to fix to, as simple as that. It should just exceed to, I guess. Total price is not a function. Okay, let me just go to here, and whatever just get out of this, let me just say to fixed. I'm not sure if whatever we just get out here is a number. To fixed is not a function, and this is why we'll be needing TypeScript to help us. So the easiest way is just like say put a plus on this, or you could just like convert them whatever to a number, or this one. We just like put them like this. I'm not sure why they're not actually coming like numbers. Okay, but you could just like say number, or whatever you just want to do, like you can convert this, but I don't think it is logical. Okay, I don't think it is logical right now. How comes he's saying it is not a number? What do we get out of this? Okay, so yes, on that one later. I don't need to deal with that. We suggest work on it next time. We still just have on the cart page. I don't know why our responsive is not really working very well right now. I just simply want to work on this responsive, and then we are done. Okay, let's just go ahead and try to work on this responsive. Why is it showing like this even on the small, on the big screen? So go back to the page. So in the page we have the grid, and the grid has 12 columns. We give this gap. I think this gap also is contributing. So on the small screen, I think on the small screen, let's just say this one to be only in MD, and let's give here a gap to be something like 6. Okay, then let's go and check these cart items. We are saying that, okay, we are saying that it should occupy 8 columns, and then on this, okay, on 640 it should occupy full. Okay, I think should say like it should just do the vice versa. We need vice versa column, and then like this should be like a same, just like this. On small screen it occupies the full, then on this it occupies 8, and the same thing to the other one. To this one, I think I just like interchange it. Just say this on a smaller screen, and then this one is going to be on a same. I think right now it should work. Just wait. Okay, yep, yeah, so we have this subtotal just like that. Then in the small screen, if I press F12, then it should just now change. Come on. Yep. And then where is it? It has disappeared. Do we have like hidden somewhere? Overflow hidden. And then we have this hidden. Really don't need to hide it. Don't think it is. We need to hide it. It just needs to be there. Yeah. So here right now we are good. Okay. Somehow right now we are starting. We'll be there. We'll be just working on it. Like here is not looking great, and this is 800 what? 800. I saw that is why we said MD. So just work on all these like small fixing as we move on. Can we change this to MD? And even the other side, this to MD. Let's see. Just going to be changing so until we just there. Okay. Right, we're just going to be working on it so like that. But so far so good. We have implemented the Redux in this project. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Okay, go ahead and subscribe. And I think you could just go ahead also and just hide entire everything here on the cart page, including even this. Okay, because this one doesn't make any sense if there is no any item in the cart, including this one. Yeah, you could just go ahead and make it entire clean slate, and you could just do that from here on this page. Okay, we're just like doing everything. Remember, we have the cart items dot length already. We have the cart items, and we could just only show the breadcrumb. We don't even just need to do the other ones, but we want to show the cart empty. Oh, okay, so you could just like do it actually from here, guys, like here, and you just do like cart items dot length greater than 0. If this is true, just show this. Okay, else let's go and bring cart empty cart. Was it empty cart? Okay, empty cart, just like that. We don't just even to do for individual, like in individual component, just like that. So just go and to the empty cart, and you could just have this as a mini height a screen, so that it is just really just like that. Okay, great. So your cart is empty, so that you just show here a very big cart stuff. Okay, we are great. Thank you for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one.